So first I am Yves from France. Yves from France.
Both names.
Both names. Yeah, but I don't want to give my full name, but Yves. So my channel is Kino Yves then, from France, and I started my journey from France about 2 years and 3 months ago, something like that. 2 years and 3 months ago. I go very slowly, so I came all the way overland from France to Kenya, so across a big part of Europe, so across France, Switzerland, Italy, the Balkans, then across the Middle East and across the half of Africa, so across Egypt, Sudan and Ethiopia before reaching Kenya. What's the aim of this journey? It's just that I like traveling, so I just do what I like, basically. I like to meet new people. I like to experience different cultures. So the aim is just that. I like to feel alive also because it's intense. So the aim is just to be happy in my life, basically. So I arrived in Kenya about 3 months and a half ago. So from Ethiopia and Moyale, and I plan to stay probably about 4 months. I think I'll have probably 2 weeks left before I leave, before I go to Uganda. So in Kenya, the places I like the most, actually I liked very much Nairobi, but not for, I like life in Nairobi because it's very, very developed. You can have a very nice and soft life, like some Kenyans say in Nairobi. And I liked also the northern part, which is you don't call them Oromo here, so the Borana area, Borana, Gabra, like all the way, let's say, from before the less developed part, so all the way between Moyale to Isiolo, through there are kind of more, I know that word is controversial here, but kind of more tribal areas, like where people, like small remote communities where people live still a traditional lifestyle, and meeting the people on the road. Well, sometimes it was not, it's a bit difficult because they ask for money quickly, but it was very interesting. I mean, just seeing the people, seeing the very, people, very interesting people culturally. So I liked very much, the north, the way from, like when I stopped in Bubisa, when I stayed in a lodge and met the Gabra people. It was I found it very fascinating, especially in the middle of the desert with all the wind and the harshness of the landscape. You could really I like to meet these kind of people who live in remote areas and have a hard life. I think they are beautiful. And I liked also going through the Samburu area, Rendile area, and then meeting, in the last video I published, meeting the Maasai with Elema and the NRT was a very good experience. That's what I say. And I like, and since after, so because the challenges in the north is very interesting in terms of culture, but the challenges is that some people were maybe asking for money, and they had like knives, and so you're like, okay, maybe I'm gonna give them some money because, well, they seem they have weapons. So sometimes you feel a little bit tense during some interactions. And after when I started to be closer to Nairobi, especially the 2 last days, which were from Nanyuki to Nairobi, and also my way from Nairobi to here, like people generally, just the friendliness of the people on the road, like everyone cheering for me. As soon as they see me on this bike, they're just like, yeah. So it's just the general friendliness of Kenyan people is really, it's the highlight for me. Nakuru, it's been almost 3 weeks actually, I think. 2 weeks and a half, 3 weeks, something like that. Because my rack is broken, so I fixed it and I wait to get a new one. Nakuru. It's a nice, it's a nice small city. I really enjoyed it. I stayed quite some time here because actually my bike is a little bit broken. But it's a nice city. I went to the national park. It's very beautiful. And how can I describe it? It's a lovely city with really friendly people. I made a video here and I was amazed by how people were friendly in the market. And I know Jamia Hotel. The restaurant is very good. I didn't go. Well, there is the castle. I don't remember the name. No. Egerton, yeah. I know West Side Mall. I went very often there. So Java restaurant in West Side Mall. I stayed in Ismar Hotel, so I know Ismar Hotel. For the places I know the name. I don't remember the name of the market. They told me when I filmed there, but I don't remember. I think there is the national park, of course, but for places I know where I know the name. I think that's all there. Well, I know like Sikunjema, Safari Njema, or well Salama, Shikamo, Mambo, Jumbo. I always wonder which is who. Like to say hello is a bit confusing here because it seems it's how are you at the same time. So, but yeah, Mambo, Jumbo, Poa, Poasana, Juri, Abariyako. What do you say? Jua, Vua, Vuli. Short rain. We are in Vuli now, no? We're in the short rain season. No? Simba, of course. Yeah, I mean, of course, the Hakuna Matata, Simba. How do you say Twiga, Tembo? Huh? Muzungu, yeah, of course, Muzungu. I know Muzungu, yeah, definitely. Yeah. That's the word I hear the most. I like very much Nyama Choma. Yeah, from whichever animal. Well, the goat one is very good. Mukimo is very good as well. Mukimo, yeah. I prefer Mukimo to Ugali, yeah. I like Ugali, but I'm not. I cannot eat it all the time. But from time to time, I'm completely fine with Ugali. I prefer Mukimo though. I like the mashed potato you do, or I don't know how you call it. It's Mukimo. No, but Mukimo is kind of green, so there is something else. It's not only mashed potato. Yeah. Or Giderio with the yeah, with the lifestyle I have, it's complicated to have because I to have a family life because I move all the time. So it's complicated to create a long-term relationship with someone because I'm just moving all the time, and most people are not nomadic and they live in the city. So it's a bit hard to match my lifestyle with. Forward, so I'm heading to Kisumu, then towards Uganda, and then across probably Rwanda, Burundi, Tanzania, western part of Tanzania. And then I think I change my mind quite regularly, so it's not fixed, but I think I'll go across Zambia, Botswana, Namibia, South Africa, something like that. But so all the way to Cape Town. I passed through Sudan. Yeah, I find Kenya very very different actually. Well, it's very different. I don't know how to like. For example, compared to Ethiopia, it's completely different. Even like in the past 10 years ago, I've been to Tanzania, and because you speak the same. Well, here people speak a lot English. In Tanzania, it's more Swahili. But because you both speak Swahili, I think in Europe we have the image, or I had the image that it was two very similar countries, but I was surprised how different they are actually. So I would say it's quite a unique country in Africa, and it's the welcome, the friendliness of the people is really special here. I understand, like before I was like the first time I traveled to Africa in Africa 10 years ago, I was like foreigners were always talking, oh Kenya, 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 and I was thinking, why the hell are they all speaking about Kenya? There are many other countries that are really beautiful also in Africa, and there's not only Kenya. But now that I came to Kenya, I understand why. There's something special in Kenya. The friendliness of the people, the way life is somehow easy is yeah, it's a very nice country, I think. How do I what? Fund. Originally, I had some savings. I had some savings and a few investments, so that give me a bit of income that I can get by with this. But then I do the YouTube channel, and I fund it with YouTube now because now my channel is big enough to live from it. So now I live from YouTube. But originally it was from savings and some investments to get by for the first year because YouTube it takes a long time to get money from it actually. For 1 year I worked for free basically. The key highlights. So yeah, for Lebanon, well in Lebanon, the key highlights in which sense? In the positive way or negative or? Either. And know about Europe then.
Also in New York.
Also in Europe. Because for me, my first highlight on the journey was meeting Serbian people who were very friendly with me, who like, they would just invite me to, it was the hospitality of Serbian people, the first highlight, like inviting me to get some drinks. I would they would just get me drunk on the side of the road, and then I would have to continue my way drunk on the way, because they're just happy to see me. And then Lebanon was a big highlight, yeah, for the hospitality, and also for the, because I had quite a serious incident where some people tried to ambush me in the Bekaa Valley in Lebanon. But in general, Lebanon is a country I really love, because it's the hospitality, it's also the general friendliness of the people, the culture, the food, the landscapes. The country is very small but extremely diverse. So Lebanon was a real highlight, was a big highlight. Then Jordan was a highlight also in terms of hospitality. The hospitality, I think in general, is the Arab hospitality is really, really impressive. It's what strikes you when you travel in the Middle East. Then reaching in Africa, well, of course, Egypt. The highlights is the history. Sudan, it was the hospitality as well, the friendliness of the people. And Ethiopia is the overwhelming. I would say Ethiopia and Kenya somehow share something. It's the overwhelming joy. It's stronger in Ethiopia. Sometimes it's too much, but it's the joy of the people. Sometimes it's too much, because if I pass near a school, then I have the whole school following me and running after me. But this joy is really hard to find. You don't find this genuine joy in many other places. And here also it's the same as so the north was more remote, less people, so less intense in this sense. But it's the same. So after Nanyuki, all the way to Nairobi and around here, it's just the general joy I meet along the road. That strikes me, that I love, because I travel to meet people. I don't really go to visit sites. So, and feel the people really have something special, both in Ethiopia and Kenya, in terms of joy. Yeah, the issues for the visas. Yeah. So sometimes when you travel, the difficult thing is the visa. So for example, for Iraq, I arrived from Turkey, and I arrived in Kurdistan. So it's a region that is half independent, and they have a specific visa. But then I could not ride from Kurdistan to mainland Iraq, to Arab Iraq, because my visa was only valid for the north of the country. So I had to fly to Baghdad to get the visa for the whole country, and then go back by bus to where I left my bag, so I can continue my journey. So sometimes, yeah, that's one of the challenges of traveling. It's the visa sometimes. Yeah, after going back to Europe, I'd probably go towards Asia next.
What?
Asia. So from probably again through the Middle East, I don't know, and then across Asia somehow. But it's many years from now. For me, the goal with this is I do it as long as I like it. If I stop liking it, I'll just stop. But I don't see any reason why I would stop liking it. But the tricycle is just because I when I saw this kind of bikes, I thought like it looks funny, so I thought it's just well, it looks different, it looks funny, so I thought, well, let's try this. And why the bike? I tried a journey by bicycle 10 years ago. I did not succeed. So, but I always had this regret. And then my mother bought an electric bicycle, and between two jobs, I went to visit her and tried the electric bicycle, and it clicked immediately. I thought, oh, I failed with a normal bicycle. Maybe I can try with an electric bicycle. And so that's why the electric bicycle. And why the bike in general is because I don't really look for a lot. That's why I have an engine, because I don't really look for the effort, physical effort. I like to do a bit of sport, but not extreme sport. But what I like in the bicycle is it makes people friendly, basically. Because when people see you on the road coming with a bicycle, they're like, who is this guy? What is this guy doing? So it makes people friendly. So I like, it helps create a contact between me and the locals. Yes, in Iraqi Kurdistan, I felt the road were very dangerous. I mean, one road, which is a narrow road, but it's a main road because of political issues. So it's the road that everyone takes, but it's a very narrow road. It's only one lane on one side and one lane on the other side. And the drivers were like crazy. Yeah. They would brush me at 100 kilometers per hour, like 50 centimeters from me. So it's extremely scary. Every time you have a car like this passing by like this, you feel like you're gonna die. But in other places, I was actually, I think because of my bike, I mean, I'm used to having cars around, so I don't get scared that easily, though. Also, and I feel that because my bike is weird, it's safer than a normal bicycle because drivers are like, what's this? So they slow down and give me more space than they would to a usual bicycle. Morning, my friends, from Nakuru, and today I resume my journey. Oh. And as you see, I have a big crew today, a big camera crew. I need to do a U-turn. Okay. Okay. Good. So let's go. Let's start our way to Kisumu, guys. Yeah, probably the main stop will be Kisumu. And then just go to Kisumu, stop in Kisumu for some time to do some editing. I stay a long time usually in towns because I need to edit the videos. So probably Kisumu, and then from Kisumu, I didn't check the distance, but I might be able to reach the border in one day.
All the best, bye.
Bye bye.
We'll chat.